to assist families who may reach out with questions. Organization advisory group that these changes and the resources available to us. Ongoing uncertainty about our federal funding, which already has been insufficient for these programs. We only recently received our funding letter from HUD. The budget comes back to you in June. As insufficient funding in DC on April 27th and 28th. On this trip, we met with Representatives Shara Jacobs and Mike Levin and the Chief of Staff for Representative Scott Peters. At our meetings in Washington, we discussed housing affordability, federal rental assistance, homelessness, and how federal resources are essential to assisting families in our community, and what the impacts are when funding is insufficient. We thank the Chamber for organizing this important mission to Washington, D.C., and for the opportunity to continue to advocate with our lawmakers to support our community. State resources are also crucial to the housing and homelessness programs that we administer. A couple of weeks before the Washington trip, we joined People Assisting the Homeless, or PATH, and Council President Joe LaCava on a trip to Sacramento to meet with state lawmakers. We had the opportunity to connect with State President Pro Tempore Monique Lyman's staff, the Governor's Deputy Legislative Secretary Miles White, Assemblymember Jesse Gabriel's staff, and consultants for the State Senate's Budget Subcommittee and Senate Housing Committee. In our meetings, we talked about the state's Homeless Housing Assistance and Prevention, or HAP, program funding, and how critical that is for the city to continue its efforts in addressing homelessness, and how potential cuts to homelessness services and programs can impact our community. You'll recall that the state did not include any HAP funding in the current state budget and proposed half of that amount from previous years for the coming fiscal year. We have advocated for more HAP funding from the state, and we will continue to, because it is a crucial source of funds for homelessness programs the Commission administers and the city funds. We are also continuing to create affordable housing opportunities in our community for families that need them. I think we have to remember in these challenging times to also celebrate our successes and focus on what we do well and continuing to create new opportunities in our community. Last week, our Senior Vice President of Real Estate Development, Colin Miller, joined Mayor Todd Gloria, developer Community Housing Works, and additional partners at the grand opening of Jacaranda on 9th. This development provides 87 new affordable rental income, and 14 of these units are for people who have previously experienced homelessness. We awarded rental housing vouchers to help support the development with financing through a loan and multifamily housing revenue bonds, which our board and council approved. The grand opening of another new development on April 16th celebrated the addition of 72 affordable rental apartments in City Heights for families with low income. I joined Councilmember Ela Rivera, the mayor, the developer, Wayfront Housing and Development Corporation, and Price Philanthropy in the Toronto. The Housing Commission awarded 33 rental housing vouchers to this development. Extremely low income paid for their housing at that site. The Toronto was built specifically to provide 3 and 4 bedroom apartments for larger families, and I can't say how important that is. Having sites that support larger families is a huge need in our community. And Waco did a terrific job really building a site that fits well in the community and enhances the main corridor of that community. With rents that they can afford, these families will have a greater opportunity to devote more of their time to and limited resources to work, school, health, and to building community in their new home. Finally, we celebrated the groundbreaking for a new development that, when it is completed, will provide 59 rental housing, a great new use for that site. About half of the rental homes there are for veterans who experience homelessness, and we awarded 30 Veterans Affairs supportive housing vouchers to that project and for those veterans. We also supported development with a loan. Our Senior Vice President of Real Estate, Colin Miller, joined the Mayor, Community Housing Works, and additional partners for this groundbreaking on April 14th. That concludes my report this afternoon. Thank you for your time.
All right, thank you for your work under challenging times in the presentation today. Clerk, please proceed with public comment.